All right, hey everybody, welcome to episode 8 of Deadhorses and DDT. I am Cody White. I'm here with Josh Weber. Let's just get right into it. Josh, I think you have something to say.
Yeah, so we want to start trying to do something fun here. We're trying to, we're still in our infancy here. We're learning how to crawl. We've recently figured out rolling over. So speaking of rolling over, we're gonna do this new thing we're gonna call face turn, heel turn, where basically we're gonna bring up something that we talked about on a previous episode. And a face turn is gonna be a good thing, something that we were right about, something we predicted, something along those lines. A heel turn is gonna be the opposite, something bad, something we were wrong about, something we said wrong, etc. So I'm going to start with my heel turn from the last episode where I suggested we call the episode "Who the Fuck is Bobby Fish?" I don't want to disrespect the man, but I was going to suggest to you that we call this episode "Who the Fuck is Bobby Fish?" Because holy shit, Bobby Fish is a great wrestler, and I have loved watching him wrestle on every episode of AEW over the last 2 weeks.
There you go. That's my heart is full when you say that because I love Bobby Fish. I do love Bobby Fish, and I'm glad that he's a solo wrestler here and not focusing on the tag team. Not yet, at least. Yeah, what good matches he's had. I mean, I'm sure it goes with who he's wrestled, but
Sure.
he's just. I feel like you could put him against anybody, and he's just great. So
Yeah, him.
yeah, I'm excited for this new segment of ours. We mess up a lot, so hopefully we have some face turns here soon too. So
Yeah, hopefully those are in there somewhere. It's going to be, the ratio is going to be a little skewed, I think.
absolutely, but that's okay. I'm never wrong. It's always just going to be you. So
Right.
that's fine.
Yeah, Bobby Fish, man, holy crap, he is great, and I'm loving. It's a great time to talk about it. First of all, Fish versus Punk coming up this week is going to be so good. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. Honestly, I felt like we were going to see Punk against everybody that has already been in for a while before we'd see, if ever, saw Bobby Fish and Punk. But that's going to be a wild.
And I think it's kind of part of this thing that they're doing with the new talent. You know, we kind of saw it with Daniel Garcia. We've seen it with Ruby Soho. They're just putting them in front of everybody and with these big names and giving them these big matches, and I like it. I'm into it.
Yeah.
It's giving us some great matches to watch.
And it's gaining fandom for these guys, you know, these new people. We don't see just the same old people wrestling every week. We kind of see these new guys coming in. We see old wrestlers coming back through. It's a good mixture of talent wrestling. Obviously, you're going to have your big names. Bryan Danielson's been on every week.
Oh,
but
yeah, he has.
But they're keeping it to like one show, and then the other show it's mixing it up. So I like it a lot. And obviously can't watch Bobby Fish or Bryan Danielson or CM Punk wrestle enough. So it's nice. It's nice to have.
Absolutely, it is.
But
I had something I was
guess...
going to say, and I lost it already. We're off to a good start.
Hey, that's all right.
Go ahead if you have a point.
I was going to say, let's just don't have anything really more. I want to get into it. Just get to our favorite matches, least favorite matches, and kind of go from there. We're going to try to do this a little bit differently going forward. We're going to talk about a favorite match, my favorite match, Josh's favorite match, least favorite matches. Maybe if something else happens, we'll talk about it. But we want to keep them a little shorter than they have been. So thank you for sticking around for the hour and a half episodes. But we're going to try to make them a little shorter for everybody. Obviously, pay-per-views, we're going to have a lot to talk about. But for right now, let's try to keep it a little shorter.
I don't know how.
What do you think? What was your... Yeah, right. It'll still be long, but it's not going to be.
I don't know how we got to 90 minutes last episode. I put it in to edit it, and it started bouncing, and I was like, that's an hour and a half. How did we sit there and talk for an hour and a half? But you know what? I think that proves that we're having good conversation, because it felt like, no time at all to me. Hopefully some people feel the same.
Well, you know what? And these episodes aren't losing viewers, if that makes sense, from our stats. So if you like it, let us know. But otherwise, we're going to keep it a little shorter as long as we can.
Okay, let's start with the Rampage buy-in, because I think we have to start there.
Yeah, I was going to ask if we just lump that in with Rampage, because that was just as good.
Yeah.
Just as good.
It really was.
Santana Garrett and Tay Conti was probably my least favorite of the night. That was in the buy-in.
Yeah, I agree.
It was, I don't know if it was so much a shot at WWE or what, but one of the last Tay Conti matches in NXT was the same match, and it just was terrible when they did it there. It just looked like a rehearsal. And this was a lot better than that, but I don't think it was a far reach. I don't think it was much better. I don't know. That was by far my least favorite match of probably the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say or to counterpoint that, because I agree with you. That was I don't even really have any notes on it. I just generally not an exciting match. So
yeah,
maybe you're right. Maybe it was like the inverse of a nod to the bad match in WWE. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to do, but it was not great.
I'm looking through these matches, and man, how can you not say, and you probably won't, because I can feel that coming, but how can you not say Suzuki versus Danielson that Friday?
See, I wasn't going to.
I knew you weren't, but I'll take the low hanging fruit, man. I mean, that match was fucking awesome. It was so crazy. It was so
It was
good.
really good. It was really good. So that was your favorite of the night, or just for the buy-in?
No, I think I'm gonna go. I don't know. It's definitely my favorite of the buy-in, but man, I don't know. I'll say it's my favorite for now, and I'll probably take that back when you tell me your favorite match was CM Punk versus Matt Sydal.
So it wasn't that either.
All
So
right, go for it.
mine's kind of a surprise, I think. And I think everybody will kind of see it this way, but it's been something that I've been waiting for. Not this match specifically, but one surrounding it. It was from the buy-in. It was Bobby Fish versus Lee Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
By far my favorite throughout probably the entire 2 weeks, but we'll get into the rest. Lee is just so good. Bobby Fish is just incredible. Those two going at each other was just, I don't even remember who won. I think it was Bobby Fish, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It was just back and forth, back and forth. There was some, not so much high flying, but a lot of speed. And it blew my mind. It blew my mind seeing these two new talents to AEW, at least, going at each other, and just with so much emotion. It seemed like it looked like they've been wrestling together for years, and that's just not the case. So that's what made it my favorite. Is this looked like this big grudge match that just, this is the first time these guys have wrestled.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was just change of momentum. It was power. It was, yeah. I totally get where you're coming from, and I'm pretty wishy-washy. So I mean, I'll probably bounce around on my favorite match either way. But it's definitely that's as close to a tie for first as any of the other matches, for sure. It was absolutely great.
But yeah, my God, I don't even know what. I don't even remember, honestly, because I remember the buy-ins so vividly. Who was on Rampage that night? Obviously, it was Matt Sydal
It
and
was CM Punk and Matt Sydal started, which was okay. Honestly, it didn't wow me the way I wanted it to. I was really excited for it, and maybe I built it up a little too much, but I was a little let down. Took a while to get going.
Yeah,
It was kind of a slow starter.
yeah. It's Matt Sydal, I think, is definitely a tag team guy. I think he does well when not all of the attention is on him. It's more of like, hey, I'm high flying, but that's really all you got, versus his tag team partner, who's either his brother or in recent weeks, Dante. And they're just both really good wrestlers on
Yep.
top of being high flyers. So, not that Matt isn't. Matt's great, but I don't know. Yeah, it was lacking. It was lacking.
And there's nothing wrong with being a tag team guy. If that's where
No.
your niche is, then if that's where your niche is, then do it. And now, I mean, if you want to quickly talk about the fact that he's a tag team wrestler, we're gonna get him and his brother versus Dante and Leo Rush, which is gonna be a weird one. That's some good animosity, some good
I'm
drama in that match.
so excited. I just want to see Leo Rush wrestle. See what they're gonna do, especially with somebody like, Dante, who
Yep.
I think is just, we've talked about it, one of the biggest up and coming talents in AEW.
In pro wrestling.
Yeah, in pro wrestling, yeah, period. But his launch off the rope is just,
he's awesome.
Incredible.
I just changed my mind, by the way. The Ty Conti match was better for me than Inner Circle versus Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos, who, by the way, we were saying Jorge Masvidal all through last episode. Another heel turn, but that's a tiny one, so it doesn't matter. It's just the fucking interference. Paige Van Zandt hops up, distracts. Jorge Masvidal comes in, hits the big knee. It's just stupid. I don't fucking care about it. We've talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That was my least favorite match of that whole night.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because it was a match and not just this nonsense talking every week, but I didn't hate it. I didn't like it either. It just kind of was like a bathroom break. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, this is fine. I'll talk to my wife throughout it and I'll catch little pieces of it. But it's still not over. Can they just kill this already?
Yep.
And
it's still not over 2 weeks later from this still. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's still not like we're going to see Ethan Page versus Sammy Guevara, which is going to be great. That's going to be a great match. Mm-hmm. Thank God it's just them. But
with no interference, hopefully.
No, and that's the thing is we're going to get interference.
Sammy will still retain, but it's just going to be annoying by the end of it, I'm afraid, which is the way these end up.
Yeah. Maybe them losing the TNT, not losing the TNT title, but losing the chance at the TNT title will just end this. But this feels like 3 episodes in a row where I've like, maybe this will end it. And it's just not happening. It just seems like it's never ending.
Yep.
And my God.
Don't even have to discuss it anymore. We'll move right on. What was your favorite match of the next night, Saturday Night Dynamite in
Saturday
Miami?
Night Dynamite. Oh boy. I don't know.
I love just
this
really
is the
quickly.
hard part of this.
Yeah, I know. What I like is going back through my notes that I wrote a week plus ago whenever I was watching and not knowing what I meant. What did I mean under the Dark Order versus the Super Click match when I said IMO hands the ref a leg? What the fuck does that mean?
So he...
Was it Uno?
Yeah, Uno caught a leg and then handed it to the Bryce.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, autocorrect fucked me up.
Why can I not think of the other matches? That's the only one I can think of, which I think would probably be my favorite, because that was the bring back of Mr. Sacco, So
yeah.
So that's an all-time favorite of mine from obviously Mankind and
yeah.
Loved Sacco. So seeing and Uno is the perfect person to bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like that was probably my favorite, and I love the Dark Order. I love what this kind of like push they're getting. They're on every episode. They got another one this week, and that was my favorite. That was definitely my favorite.
More so than Fish versus Danielson.
It was.
Okay.
So Fish versus Danielson was super good, but I felt like I was still on the high from Fish versus Moriarty that I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna go weird because again I don't want to just keep taking the easy way out and say Fish versus Danielson, but know that is so close, such a close second to the Lucha Brothers versus the Super Frogs, aka FTR, to win the AAA Tag Championships. Because I love a good tag match. I just love a good tag match. FTR is great. You know I love the Lucha Brothers. It was super enjoyable. That stupid little gimmick was funny as shit. I'm into it. It was great, and Andrade pays MJF after the match for the use of FTR, and they're keeping this feud go for the AEW Tag Championships. I loved it.
That was my least favorite.
Really?
That was my least favorite, and I'll tell you why. I love FTR, but CM Punk ruined it for me when he was like, "That's FTR." Like, that's FTR. Like, yeah, dude, we know it's FTR, but let the let the flow happen. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let the reveal happen. You don't have to tell everybody because you know there's people out there that don't watch as often, and just it was probably ruined for him because it was for me.
Okay.
I knew it was them because I could see the hair, but I didn't like that. And also for the AAA is a very prestigious tag team to Mexican wrestlers. Like that is a huge, huge accomplishment. I don't like FTR having it.
Yeah, it's a little more, it's the forbidden door thing that we've been talking about kind of all along. And I wrote that later on after this last episode of Dynamite that how upset are like hardcore AAA fans, because I'm sure that they are, and I'm sure that they should be, but I also think that's part of what makes this work. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah. I know it'll work, but there's just so many good Mexican tag team wrestlers out there, luchadors, that could have been the mystery tag team and could have taken that and ran with it in AAA. That in FTR, I mean, any luchador in the AAA fighting FTR for the titles is going to be stoked that they're fighting FTR, that they get to work for FTR. I don't think anybody's going to be upset about it. I just think in this day and age, with Andrade, Lucha Bros, felt like there could have been more. I was looking forward to this match because I was like, oh my god, who's he bringing over? Who's he going to have do this? And then it's FTR.
I thought that too. Yes, I did. I do agree with that. I was let down when it was just FTR. I wanted something a little more exciting, but it didn't take away from the match itself for me. And I like the potential of the fact that guys who shouldn't have those titles right now. That just kind of makes a fun storyline.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I looked at it completely different, but you talking about it now, I can see that.
Yeah.
I just, at the time, it ruined the match for me. Between that and CM Punk, which is a rare occasion that CM Punk will ever ruin anything for me. So,
what did you make in neither, favorite nor least favorite? Did we talk about least favorite yet? I'm literally already off track of this.
I did.
Did I?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then I guess just for fun, the Yuda versus Moxley match, because what the hell was that for? But to waste everybody's time. It was just, it didn't set anything up. It was over immediately. Mox has got like a disgruntled kind of, I mean, he always does, but there's like something going on. He cut that last promo on Dynamite about, I don't care about the tournament. I don't care about the title. All I care about is my daughter, whatever. Like there's some kind of discontent brewing there, I feel like.
Yeah. I think the way he delivered that promo was weird and bad, but
Mm-hmm.
I get what he's trying to say. I'm gonna have to hurt everybody. I'm gonna have to win the title because I have to. Like, that's fine, but otherwise, yeah, I don't know what that match was for. It just felt forced. Didn't
It
feel like it
was,
had to be there at all.
yeah. It's not like, Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler setting up that continued rivalry with the Elite. Like, just nothing came of it. It was weird. I don't know. Quick sidebar. I know we wanted to do less time, and I'm trying to talk about everything as much as
Hey,
possible.
whatever.
I watched after we recorded our last episode the next day. I watched Mox versus Nick Gage at GCW Fight Club.
Yeah,
It was so good. We talked about it a little, during the last episode. So then I thought, okay, I got to sit down and watch it, even though I know how it's going to end. And it was fucking great,
I
dude. Love a good death match.
saw it's on YouTube, so I'm gonna watch it tomorrow at work.
Yeah. It's a fun 34 something minute match. I don't know. I mean, the intros are kind of long, but I mean, Mick Foley on commentary, it's fucking great, dude.
I love Mick Foley.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
talked about it already. That's the second time this episode.
Yeah, I mean, if Uno's going to bring back the Sacco bit, I'm cool with it. Foley can keep coming up all the time. We got to start keeping a shit counter on these episodes. They are really just stretching that to the max, man. You can say shit on cable, and now they're like shit everything.
Yes. It gets to the point where I'm just like, all right, that's enough.
We got into yeah, I totally agree. So the next, if you got nothing else you want to say about that Dynamite, the next Rampage.
Next Rampage.
Can I say real quick that next Rampage didn't do much for me. It was kind of just a boring episode. Except for one thing.
All right. Well, no, I liked all but one match, honestly. I mean, I feel like both of our least favorites has got to be Orange Cassidy Powerhouse, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird matchup. I liked Hobbs hitting the torture rack, a cool old school move, but other than that, nothing about that excited me. Never expected Hobbs to advance past the first round.
I did. I kind of expected it, but
okay, not against Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
depending on the matchup, maybe.
I hoped he did, but
so no way that both of our favorites can't be Pac versus Andrade too, right? Or are you gonna say Britt versus?
Oh, no way. You know what? If it wasn't for Pac versus Andrade being just stupid perfect, Britt and Anna Jay came very close for me. That was a good match. It's a really good match, and it went flawlessly into Tay coming in and having her, because she's number one contender, coming in for the save and the kind of drama, the lead up to it. So, but yeah, Pac versus Andrade was just perfect. What else could you say about it?
Yeah, my first thing I wrote on it was, I don't think we talked about how good this match was the first time.
No, I don't think we did.
Because that was when we were trying to cram a billion things into one episode. I think that was the All Out episode.
Yeah, because it was the week after All Out. The first one was good, but you had that same thing that we hate, is that interference. And that bled perfectly into this one, where everybody was banned from ringside. The match was just, I said it already, perfect. Nothing. I needed nothing else out of that. It didn't matter to me who won. I don't care. I like them both. The hatred that they feel for each other looks real.
Yeah, the tension is up here. I mean, it is boiling over through the whole match. Absolutely. It's two great wrestlers, and I agree with you too. Normally I'm like, okay, I want so-and-so to win. I don't give a shit in this match, and that makes it so much better.
Yep. And then it ends,
And
and you get Cody Rhodes and well, Malachi Black first with the. I was like, oh, who's he here for? What's gonna happen next?
yeah.
It's his Black Mist at Pac, and like Cody shows up in support. I want that so bad. Can I get a Cody Rhodes and Pac versus Andrade and Malachi Black? Can I
Oh,
get
that
that?
would be fun. Yeah, I'd be into that.
My God, just the hatred between those two
Yeah.
teams. Oh,
You know what?
just
It didn't even cross my mind, but that could theoretically be coming. I mean, pretty easily. You know, we had Cody versus Malachi 3 and Pac and Andrade poke their heads out again.
yeah,
I'd be into
yeah.
that. I didn't even cross my mind till you
I
just said it. I would be so into that.
I want that. Just and lead it. You can lead it into a Pac versus Malachi Black, or you can even lead it into a Pac versus Andrade if they lose. You know what I mean? Like some tension between the tag team, and there's so many different ways you can go with it. I just want all of it because any match that could come out of that is a good match.
Yep.
Great match. But yeah, I figured that was going to be our favorite, but
Yeah,
I
and
didn't think it was lackluster by any means. The episode.
um that match saved it for me. I don't know what it was. I was sitting there watching it and I was just kind of like, okay, like I guess maybe I was so hyped for Pac versus Andrade that I just couldn't give a shit about the other two matches. Like honestly, I know I remember Britt versus Anna Jay being good. I'm not going to sit here and say that's not the case, but I don't even have any notes on it, which leads me to believe I was sitting there just waiting
Yeah,
for the damn thing to. I
that's
don't know.
fair.
I don't know. That's one man's opinion. I don't know. It just out of I feel like for a while we were talking about how Rampage is getting better and better every week. This last one was the first week where I was like, okay, you let me down a little bit. And maybe that's a me thing. I don't know.
No, I don't think it was because now I'm thinking about ratings were down a little bit on it, and I just I think what let me down is every week they start with such a good match, and they started with Orange Cassidy versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yep.
And if I'm being honest, this world title eliminator, some of these matches, I was not looking forward to.
Yep. And you know what? I have a note somewhere earlier that I went by that I just saw that I said a lot of these tournament matches just feel like they have an obvious winner. It's not that exciting in the first round.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that towards the end of the episode here. We're going to sit down and look at what's left in the AEW world title bracket and sit down and look at the women's TBS championship bracket. And we'll do some bracket predictions and thought that could be a fun thing. So we can talk more about that, even though at this point the AEW world title bracket is going into the semifinals by the time this episode comes out, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So into Dynamite. Why not? Let's keep rolling.
All right, I started last time. What was your favorite or least favorite? Whatever.
Well, while I'm looking, let's start least favorite. Let's go bad news first. I want to first say I love that Bryan Danielson starts off so many of these shows. Love it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Could not be happier. Least favorite match. I don't know. Like Jungle Boy versus Brandon Cutler, it was not an exciting match on its face, but like I don't know, you can't say that. I don't know if I have to pick a least favorite match. I don't even know if I have one, man. Do you have a least favorite from Dynamite this last
Yeah,
week?
I absolutely do.
All right,
Lance
sway
Archer,
me.
Eddie Kingston.
Really?
Yeah. And it's neither of their faults. I think it was written to be a really good match, but Lance Archer getting hurt and
Yeah.
them having to cut the match short really killed it. Really killed it. I was more like worried for Lance Archer than anything because it was very obviously real.
Yeah, he hit his head hard. And I mean, that's a lot of dude. That's a lot of weight
Well, it was
onto your head. Yeah,
straight on
straight
his
up.
neck.
I know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And he's good now. He's been tweeting, he tweeted out thanks for the support and that he's feeling okay, thankfully. But who knows how long he's going to be out. He didn't say whether it was a neck strain or concussion or what or both. But yeah, that just killed it for me. I killed it.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
couldn't do it.
I guess I just didn't want to say that was my least favorite for the fact that like you almost can't count it in contention. I feel like because it just didn't happen the way it was supposed to. But yeah, I guess I'll agree with that because I don't have a least favorite otherwise.
But yeah, you know what? And that was a surprise because the Cutler Jungle Boy, I was like, why is this a thing?
You know what?
Good.
Dude, fuck it. Cutler is fun as shit. He gets up on the ropes and he goes for the Panama Sunrise. I'm totally here for it. It was so funny.
Oh, it was so good.
He plays that part perfectly. He plays that part perfectly.
He does. And he's a good wrestler too. And playing that off and acting like that, was so funny. So that was a good little comedic relief, especially, after everything. So
yeah, and it keeps the Jungle Boy / Adam Cole Elite whatever rivalry going, and Jungle Boy gets his ass thrown off the stage and threw a bunch of tables.
Oh,
that was a hell of. He flew through the air, dude.
Oh yeah,
that was
a
awesome.
long throw. Adam Cole did get punished for that.
Really?
He was forced to take pictures with everybody at the taping the next day, or Tony Khan was going to suspend him. So.
Fuck yeah. MJF, could we just really quick talk about his promo when Sting came out to give an update on Darby? How long until MJF gets his own in-ring show just like Jericho back in the day? Because he is that good on the mic, dude.
Yeah,
he is that good on the mic.
He's going to. I think once Rampage is 2 hours long, if that ever happens, you got to give him some sort of segment.
I love that.
Stupid good.
Every week he's just trying to find some fat guy yelling at him, and he's like, "Hey, fat boy, I got the microphone." Oh man.
Yeah, I always want to know if there's actually somebody there that's overweight or if he's just being an asshole. Probably a little bit.
Definitely a fat dude right down front that was yelling at him the whole time. Just because I'm going to keep stalling for favorite matches. During Penelope Ford versus Ruby Soho, was that dad in the button-up blue shirt yelling at Penelope? I saw you when it was dead quiet. Looked an awful lot like you.
It was me. Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Did you see what I'm talking about? Do you know? Did you see him? He kept standing up and screaming at the quietest points of the match. He's like, "You go, Penelope!" It's like, okay.
Yeah, that was me.
That was funny as shit. That was exactly what I thought. I said, "Hey, there's Cody." I mean, favorite match. Danielson and Dustin was fun. I didn't think it was going to be.
That was mine. I thought about it the instant it started, and not even like halfway through. I was like, why do I do this? Every time Dustin Rhodes has a match, I am like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And every single time he's like just phenomenal. And I'm like, he's so good.
Yeah.
But I always forget that. And this was just like they cut each other up. It was so good. I love Dustin Rhodes.
It was great, and I agree. I have the same feeling every time he wrestles, and I got to just get out of that mindset because he is great. He's fun to watch. Him and Danielson, obviously, that's just an awesome pairing. Dustin obviously has that just old school power kind of style that it's just great, and it paired with everything Danielson was doing. It was fun to watch. I don't know if it was better for me than Cody versus Malachi 3 still, but it was really fun. But just because I love Malachi, even if he lost.
Yeah.
And I'm super... Go ahead.
That match didn't need to happen for me, if I'm being honest. Malachi versus Cody 3. I say that, but it's my background on my phone. They put out this sweet little...
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was like, it's going to be, but I didn't necessarily care about the Malachi versus Cody match.
Um,
It was good, but yeah.
I'm continually intrigued by this whole the crowd fucking hates Cody thing.
Yeah, I think they could have done a different direction, explained that a little bit more, done something with it, but
They should
I
be
think
playing it
seeing
up,
him win,
I think.
yeah, I think seeing him win and still getting booed for it, like everybody was disappointed he won, was huge. Was very cool. I was almost certain they were going to give Malachi the win again, but seeing Cody win was cool. That was a good part of it.
Yeah,
Kind of made
Malachi kicks.
Malachi human again.
Yep, and he kicks out of all those close falls, and the crowd goes nuts. Like they were 100% behind Malachi. It was split. There was, some cheers out there for Cody, but it was definitely outweighed by the boos. And I'm pretty sure there were Cody sucks chants in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody that was cheering for Cody were planted there by Cody, so he bought everybody tickets to say, "Okay, only thing you need to do is cheer for you."
Cody, I'll come in the crowd and cheer for you. Fly me out, buddy. Friend of the pod,
Yeah,
Cody
right.
Rhodes.
Friend of the pod.
We have so many friends. Arn gets the get the Glock chance. We can't not talk about that. That was great.
Oh my god.
I love
Just
that new thing for Arn is great.
the crowd cheering for Arn to shoot somebody is just just incredible. Just
Only in
incredible.
Florida.
Oh,
Only in
man.
Florida.
Yeah, kill somebody, Arn.
That's it. That takes us through our 4 shows. I think that was a much more efficient way to go about things. Hopefully you
I
listening feel the
agree.
same.
I agree.
So let's you wanna play some tournament predictions? You got anything else you want to talk about before we do that? Any news?
Only thing I want to bring up is this Charlotte drama.
Educate
I think
us,
it's
inform
intriguing.
us. What's going on?
So Charlotte apparently is not a liked person right now at AEW. Yeah, at WWE, she had a belt exchange with Becky Lynch, which if you're not familiar, they exchanged belts because they changed brands, and obviously want to defend with their own brand. She completely botched, I guess you could say, went off script with it and ended up throwing the belt. And all of this has already been edited by WWE, by the way. It was live and then they edited it. So any video that you watch now is completely weird and different. And yeah, strange. But long story short, apparently led to an altercation behind the scenes between Becky and Charlotte. Charlotte was then escorted out of the building by security. And who knows where it's going to go from here. There was even, Sonya Deville apparently wanted to fight her. A lot of girls in the back don't like her, reportedly. And yeah, it's not a good look, but at the same time, it's a good look for me because I want Charlotte in AEW so badly. So badly. She's not even that good, honestly. She's just like a big name and
She's a
can
legacy.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she can be good. Like, I think she's just used wrong in WWE. So we'll see where that goes. But that's all I wanted to bring up is that drama because it intrigues me. And hopefully next podcast we'll know more and maybe even some statements or something from Charlotte, see what's going on. But
yeah,
I'm gonna watch SmackDown for sure next week. Like, why wouldn't I at this point? If there's drama, I'm gonna watch.
You gotta.
Right? So they got me, who hasn't watched a SmackDown or a Raw in probably 2 years, about to watch the SmackDowns. So we'll see.
That's worth something.
But yeah, let's do some predictions.
Did real quick, like 2 little things I want to hit. As long as WWE's in the conversation, did you see MJF did like a podcast or something? And I don't have the exact quote, but his words were something about, yeah, someday I might go to the other one, was what he said. And he basically said like, yeah, maybe I'm not long term in AEW. Maybe I go see what WWE is like, is kind of what he was insinuating.
Yeah,
I would be sad.
I didn't listen to it, but it was on, and just because I don't like Barstool, but it was on Barstool that he apparently did it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'll probably listen to it eventually, see what was said. But yeah, I saw some little bit about that. But I think it's just MJF being MJF.
You're
Honestly.
probably right. Yeah, I shouldn't read anything into it because that's exactly what he's trying to do. The only other thing, and I can't find the link where it talked about him responding to it. But did you see the thing where like they said Tony Khan accidentally revealed the Full Gear card? He was like holding his clipboard at a Jaguars game, and on the back there was a sheet of paper that had like potential matches written up, and people are
What?
like, is that the Full Gear card? And you know what, give me 2 seconds because let me see if I can find his response because it was really funny what he said.
Tony Khan's?
Yeah, Tony Khan response to Full Gear card leak. Because he basically said, like, let's see, I got it. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, so it got tweeted out. I'll send you the picture, but it's him standing at a Jaguars game, and he's just like holding some papers against his chest on like a clipboard, and on the back, there's a bunch of scribbles that people think are matches that are coming, but also like a lot of them are, you know, predictable. It's like Young Bucks and Jurassic Express, MJF and Darby, Kenny and Hangman. Like it's nothing weird and like nothing off the wall that you found like some groundbreaking information. But he said, I was doodling on my notebook and I saw a lot of people took notice of the notes in my notebook, which is pretty amazing because when you're walking around with full notes, you never think photographers are going to capture the small writing you've written down. I'm glad it wasn't anything more personal. And he said, I've seen people jumping to conclusions that must be the Full Gear card. It is true. I announced that Kenny versus Hangman is the main event we've all been waiting for with Full Gear. It's going to be a huge pay-per-view. It's absolutely booked. I just have notes and have been messing around with different ideas and playing around with stuff. It's just, I think it's funny that people are like, oh my God, the Full Gear card. And he's like, I mean, yeah, it says Kenny versus Hangman. Like, duh.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a Jaguars fan and you see your football your president of football operations like doodling on his notepad making wrestling matches?
Maybe did you retweet that? I saw somebody retweet
I think I sent you a picture of it.
Is that what it was? Oh man, that thing was so funny. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was Trevor Lawrence just looking defeated, and it said, when you're 0-5, you have the second worst team in the league. Your coach is embroiled in a sex scandal. You've lost more games in 5 weeks than you have in 10 years, and your head of football operations is tweeting about how he's going to beat the WWE. That is so funny. Is funny as shit. Okay, we can stop fooling around now. Let's do some tournament predictions now that we got that out of the way. You want to start with the shorter one now, the World Title Eliminator Tournament?
Yeah. I'm going to go bold here and say Jon Moxley.
Moxley wins the whole thing. Okay.
Moxley wins the whole thing. It's going to come down to Bryan Danielson and Moxley.
Okay.
Moxley's going to take it.
Because the only one we've got left right now is Moxley and 10, and then the semifinals are set. And it'll be, if that happens, it'll be Moxley and Orange Cassidy versus Danielson and Kingston. And I gotta say, I don't disagree with you. As interesting as a Moxley versus Kingston, like not even rivalry, but for like one match could be. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I agree with you. I think it's Moxley and Danielson. Just to be the other side of the coin, I'll say Danielson just for fun. But I agree with you that the final comes down to Moxley versus Danielson, and the way Danielson's going, I could see it happening. The way Moxley's going, and he's cutting all these promos, and he's always just a little bit unhinged, could easily be Moxley too.
I could be completely wrong, and Danielson makes more sense because like the whole Kenny Omega thing, but I want Adam Page to win the championship so bad that I'm just like, Moxley versus Adam Page is going to make more sense than Danielson versus Adam Page.
I agree. And do we want to say that now? I mean, I feel like it's got to be Hangman's at Full Gear. There's no way they're letting Kenny walk with it again. No way.
I hope, I hope.
We were so confident last time they put Hangman against Kenny, though, so I don't know.
I've got some bold predictions out there, so we'll get into that.
Yeah, let's save those for the next episode right before because the pay-per-view is fast approaching. Actually, we'll probably have the lead up to the
One more
pay-per-view episode, and then so let's plan on doing that next time. Let's talk bold predictions because by then the whole card will be set for sure.
No, not quite.
No, it won't be.
No, at least we got Wednesday. It'll probably be set the next day, the day after we record.
Oh, okay. Well, we can make it. We can make some inferences. You just said we're never wrong, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I said I'm never wrong. You're always wrong. All right.
Okay.
Except for maybe in that prediction. We'll see. TBS.
TBS. We know for sure Ruby beats Penelope, so let's go through match by match here a little bit before we go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Give me your I guess quarterfinalists.
All right.
Because we got a bunch of first round buys. Yeah,
so you want after the first round buys, huh?
No, give me who's going to go up against the first round buys. Let's start there.
Okay. So Anna Jay's beating Jamie Hayter.
I agree.
Bunny's beating Red Velvet. Nope. I'm going to take that one right back.
I was going to say,
beating the Bunny.
I disagree as much as I want Bunny to get it. You know, we love Bunny here. Got to support the Buffalo kids, but yeah, I think Velvet takes that.
Who they were going up against.
Yeah, that plays into it.
Cheetah.
Yep.
Is beating Serena Deeb to get her 50th.
That's her revenge. Yep. And goes against Nyla Rose, which will be great.
Then I have a feeling that Ruby Soho is going to beat Penelope Ford.
I knew you were going to say that, you dickhead. Yeah, I agree. I agree with
I think we're in
all of those.
Agreements there, right?
Yeah, so that's quarterfinals into semifinals. Who takes Thunder Rosa versus Anna Jay?
Anna Jay.
I'm gonna go Rosa on that one.
Okay, we should be writing this down.
We should be. Good thing it'll be in recorded form. We'll go back.
Jade Carhill's gonna take it against Red Velvet.
Ugh. Yeah, you're probably right, which I hate.
Cheetah
over Nyla. Yep. Yeah, I agree with that.
And Soho over Chris.
I agree, and I could kind of go either way on that one. I'm not going to disagree with you for just because. I'm gonna stick with you on this one and say I agree. Ruby Soho. So then you've got Anna Jay versus Jade in the semifinals, and I've got Rosa versus Jade in the semifinals. So who takes that and moves on?
Anna Jay, baby.
I'm going Rosa. I think if Rosa makes it there and she goes up against Jade, that's a good spot to hand Jade her first loss. Although so would the finals. You know, but I don't like Jade Cargill, so I'm going to pick Rosa. I don't care if I'm wrong.
I'm going Anna Jay.
Okay, so you've got Anna Jay in the finals. I've got Rosa. Good. We got some differentiation. I like it.
And then
Cheetah versus Ruby.
I'm going to go. I want Cheetah, but I think Ruby's going to take it.
I agree. I want Cheetah, but Ruby has got that just fan favorite wave that she's riding right now. She came in, got the contendership, already fought Britt. I think you're right. But again, just for sake of differentiation, I'll say Cheetah takes it, even though she had a title reign. Maybe I don't want to do that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'll say Cheetah. I'll say Cheetah. Right. Fuck it. So Cheetah and Rosa at the end. I already know that my bracket is fucked. This is like when you do a Final Four tournament at work and you get to the end and, you know, you're like, who the fuck did I put in the finals? I don't even know this team.
And then I'm going to go Anna Jay winning it all, baby.
Anna Jay wins the TBS. Takes it home to the Dark Order. If it comes down to Rosa and Ruby... Wait, did I say Ruby or did I say Cheetah? I said Cheetah.
You said Cheetah.
If it comes down to Rosa and Cheetah, I think it's Rosa. If it comes down to Rosa and Ruby, I think it's Ruby. I'll say that.
Yeah?
I don't know why I think that, but that's what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna spoil my bold prediction now and tell you why I picked Anna Jay as the TBS. Because my girl Tay Conti is winning the AEW World Championship at Full Gear, and you're going to have Anna Jay and Tay Conti as the champions, the women's champions, and it's going to make so much sense. And they're just going to have that beautiful story together, and that's that.
Cool. This will be a really fun heel turn when we get done with the pay-per-view in a few weeks.
Hire me, Tony Khan. I'm ready.
Friend
of the pod.
Yeah, friend of the pod, Tony Khan. All right. I don't think I have anything else to say. Do you?
Me neither. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Hopefully every prediction I just made is true, and everything that Josh said is wrong. As always, thank you again for listening. Catch up with us on social media. Josh is sort of using his Twitter now, so...
Yeah, it's rare, but it's there. If you want to come say hey.
Use it.
We're pretty
more often.
I think we generally under 2/4 are pretty dead on all of our social media, which is a bad thing. But come let us know that you're looking, and we'll do more things there.
Yes. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. I'm good when you are, sir.
All right.
Oh, fuck. Hang on. Something happened. Okay, I'm good. I thought my notes all got deleted.
Oh, no.
I looked and it was just gone off my screen. It was a completely blank page.